Chinese artificial intelligence independently developed a graphics processor in just 5 hours. At the Cyberpunk exhibition, a flying electric car with wheels was presented. Drones from England that can enter a burning hut. Also demonstrated was a robot transformer capable of walking, driving, and flying. The first bicycle with a built-in ChatGPT chatbot was shown, and the Starship was warmed up before full takeoff. All these innovations and more are waiting for us right now. Let's go! The California Institute of Technology built an unusual robot, inspired by puffins and sea lions, named M4, short for Multi-Model Mobile Thym Morphobot. This transformer can ride on 4 wheels, move on 2 limbs, and even fly. At first glance, it may seem like a simple rover, but the tricky part is its unusual wheels and transformable design. In its basic position, it simply rides on 4 wheels. Then the M4 is able to get up, like a meerkat, on its rear wheels to look around. In this state, it can even walk, using the wheels as legs to make stepping movements. And when an insurmountable obstacle appears in front of the robot, it simply raises all of its wheels to a 90 degrees angle, fires its built-in rotors, and takes off. The researchers were inspired by how puffer birds use their wings when running up steep slopes, and how sea lions use flippers to navigate the sea and land. It is noted, however, that M-forces are capable of making their own decisions when moving in an open environment. China's Guangzhou Mobile Group, or GAC, announced the development of a flying electric vehicle and unveiled the prototype's capabilities in a special video. The company demonstrated a prototype vehicle called Go, which combines a hybrid of a multicopter and a car. According to the developer's idea, the drone and the landing gear can separate to go into flight mode. The landing gear can be controlled remotely and sent to a station for recharging, while the car can move autonomously on the ground as well as in the air. The passenger cannot drive the car, but will have access to monitors and voice control for route selection during the trip. No price or production timeline for the Go has been revealed yet, but Jack expects increased demand for the flying cars in southern China, where major cities such as Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong are located, close to the sea and the vast river delta. Machines with artificial intelligence are already demonstrating the ability to design new materials, proteins, and computer programs. However, the question of whether machines can design like humans remains open. A team of specialists from institutes at the Chinese Academy of Sciences has embarked on a project to train machines in design skills. They set out to design a useful object. Using Monte Carlo method and Boolean function distance to evaluate accuracy and efficiency, they managed to develop a processor on RISC-V architecture that supports Linux operating system and has performance comparable to Intel 80486SX processor. The entire development cycle took only 5 hours, thousands of times less than the time it took to develop 4th-generation computer microchips in the early 1990s. This processor was the world's first machine-designed CPU, and it pushes the boundaries of machine design, confirming the ability of machines to develop on par with humans. Researchers from China also demonstrated that their approach allows not only to discover the general von Neumann architecture, but also to conduct a more detailed optimization of the architecture structure, which opens up new possibilities for machine development. Cadillac will begin production of its next premium electric car, called the Celestiq, later this year. It has received an unusual body and interior design, and the whole process of creating the interior will be coordinated with each buyer. The company talked about the future novelty for 2 weeks in a series of videos. In the latest video, the designers explained the concept of the car and expressed Cadillac's desire to enter the world of electric cars with a provocative product that will attract attention. Every design detail expresses the Celestiq's personality. For example, there are speaker taps all over the ceiling, and the audio system is finished with unusual stainless steel grills. No 2 cars will come off the assembly line the same way. Each of them will be tailored to the customer's wishes. Once sales begin, the production process will be based on designers working with the client to ensure that each customer can choose and receive a car that meets their desires. For example, The customer will be able to choose the shade of leather seats and the design of various interior elements. The car will also have 23-inch wheels, a 16.6-inch display for the rear seats, an 11-inch control panel, and a multimedia system with 30 to 8 speakers. The car will get all-wheel drive and 2 electric motors with a total output of 600 horsepower. The power plant will accelerate the car up to 100 kilometers per h in 3.8 seconds, and the battery has enough charge for 483 kilometers of run. The Cadillac Celestiq will go on sale next year for about $300,000. Meanwhile, engineers from Imperial College London and the Swiss Research Institute EMPA have developed an experimental quadcopter called Fire Drone. Its peculiarity lies in its fire-resistant housing, which allows the device to be used in fires and to conduct preliminary reconnaissance for rescuers. Unlike traditional drones, the Fire Drone can withstand temperatures up to 200 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. This heat resistance is achieved through an insulating layer of aerogel, which protects the internal electronics. The idea behind this drone is that it can help firefighters locate fire sources, people, and danger spots, all in real time. So far, the Fire Drone has successfully passed its first tests at a fire training center. In the future, it can be used to assess forest fires or even for reconnaissance in very low temperatures. SpaceX has shown impressive footage of static testing of the Ship-25 engines, the next prototype of the Starship spacecraft. The test was conducted ahead of the spacecraft's scheduled launch and was especially important because of a past launch failure when the rocket self-destructed after launch. Ship-25 was tested at a spaceport in South Texas. 6 Raptor engines were run for a few seconds to check their operation and the functioning of all the ship's systems. Static warm-ups are routine pre-launch tests where the craft is left on the ground with the engines running. Starship's first flight is scheduled 6 weeks ahead. The plan is for the ship to partially orbit the Earth and land in the Pacific Ocean near Hawaii. The previous prototype exploded in mid-air due to a controlled self-destruct due to engine failure. SpaceX said more than 1,000 fixes have been made since then, many of them related to the partitioning system, the cause of the previous prototype's explosion. Starship is expected to send humans to the moon as part of the Artemis mission, and a future flight to Mars is also planned. At Eurobike 2023, Artopia showed the world's first electric bike with the ChatGPT chatbot from OpenAI integrated into the onboard computer. The manufacturer has clearly demonstrated how it works, but the usefulness of such an innovation is still questionable. The number of promotional materials did not include a photo or video of the bike in full size. The company distributed only a video in which the user asks the bike questions about its benefits. In the video, you can see how to access the chatbot. You have to press a special button on the handlebars and ask a question, to which ChatGPT answers with your voice. It is not yet clear whether ChatGPT will be able to interact with the bike itself in some way. The price, release date, and other features of the bike are unknown. But don't expect a low price tag, since the previous Carbon 1 model costs about $3,600.